textbooks are continually on the rise. Tuition continues to increase year by year while the economy is still in recovery. How much were your textbooks when you bought your books for this semester? Did one book cost over $300? $200? How much? Half the time, nowadays, students have to rent the book because the price of the actual book buying to own is so expensive. Students in college all know the main thing that we have to deal with on or off the campus, whether it's during school or getting something to eat, which is money. College students are limited within the years of getting their college education. In my years of being a college student, my experience has been great, despite the crater-like hole my textbooks have put in my pocket. In some cases, we do not even use our textbooks, except maybe twice a week. That is a waste of hundreds of dollars. All books for all classes, I believe, should be rented because they are much cheaper. Books are too expensive because sometimes, in some cases, if you're not careful and misplace your book can be stolen, which is another complete waste of money. In today's society, the economy is still in recovery, which jobs are limited, which makes our means of financial stability harder to stabilize and manage. As a student, it is very disappointing when I am forced to spend all my hard-earned money on books. In most cases, there is not enough financial aid and money to cover all of our books for our classes. Also, sometimes teachers will require an additional book or reading material for the class. This creates a greater hardship for students. Many students cannot afford to buy these books, which puts students in a bad situation, sometimes resulting in failing the class or having to drop the class. According to contemporaryfamilies.org, college students are affected by this recession tremendously. This website stated the current recession has also put pressure on young people who are trying to complete their college education. Just as they or their parents are facing home losses financially, strapped states are cutting back on support for higher education and further raising tuition, which is already rising much faster than the family economy. Why continue to make students and families suffer? We all need an education, but does it have to cost so much? Does one book have to be $250 worth of knowledge? Is there one book that has $250 worth of knowledge material in it? According to Center for collegeaffordability.org, they also agree that tuition is high and takes away the desire for students to go to college. I quote, almost everyone agrees that colleges have become increasingly costly to attend and are growing burden on society to finance. Rising tuition costs threaten the ability and desire of students to attend college. I'm going to embrace y'all with a little bit of knowledge that may help you out in the long run. Here are a few websites that you may want to seriously take a look at if you're smart and want to save a bunch of money. Chegg.com, Bookbite.com, Bookrenter.com, and TextbooksRentals.com are all book renting websites. Why pay the full price for college books when you can pay half or at least or 75%? All of that, I'll answer that for you. There's no need to. Pay sky-rising prices anymore? No way. When buying books for the full price with the intentions to own the book, the only positive thing that comes out of that is that you can sell the book back. When you sell a full-price book back, you have to pay attention to a couple of things. That is, if they're buying the book back, the bookstore or the off-campus bookstore, or if they're buying it back for full price, or if the version of the book is still acceptable. Sometimes teachers change the versions needed for every semester. According to a blog on mint.com, renting books is the cheaper way to go. The blog stated textbooks are expensive and can set you back hundreds of dollars. On a tight student budget, that's no chump change. One money-saving tip we hear often these days is to consider renting books instead of buying. But depending on the resale value of used textbooks, whether you will use them for multiple semesters or not, renting might not necessarily be the wisest decision financially. According to frugalliving.about.com, they suggest renting books as well. Tired of forking over hundreds of dollars on college textbooks each semester, then stop buying your books and start renting them instead. Several websites now allow you to rent the books that you need to return them when you're done. It is so easy, you'll wish you had done it sooner. The next downfall to buying expensive textbooks is that they can get stolen just as quickly as you get them. I remember while attending Stephen F. Austin State University, at least 50 books per week were stolen. When someone steals your books, it can be detrimental. What else are you going to use to study? What if your book was bought with financial aid? It would put you in a bind educational-wise with their classes and financially. In order to get another book, 9 times out of 10, a student is forced to buy another book, spending another $200, but this time it would be out of pocket, cash money. People steal textbooks to trade them for money, or simply just to have that book because they take the same course but cannot afford the book. Books are too expensive, bottom line. On Examiner.com, here's an article with a situation where college books were stolen. I quote, "Police said it was a textbook case literally of a crime that often goes unpublicized. A father and son are charged with selling stolen college books online. Harold Sklar, 62 years old, stole the textbooks from an Upper Saddle River publisher, and his son, 32 years old, Jason Sklar, who works at the New York Mets Citi Field, posted ads and sold them online," authorities said. "Ebooks should be used more frequently, and I think they should substitute the option of buying textbooks. Ebooks are textbooks online. My recommendation to save everybody money is to rent textbooks, and all classes should have an ebook availability." There's an article that states others having the same viewpoint on ebooks. According to Chronicle.com, they're saying that e-textbooks should be required reading and that colleges should be the ones charging for them. It is the best way to control skyrocketing costs and may actually save the textbook industry from digital piracy, they claim. The economy is slowly progressing back to the type of economy America once knew. Education is a big deal in today's society and is very much needed. At the same time, it takes money to go to school, especially if you're attending college or a major university. At the end of the day, the cost of tuition may be something we can't change, but the price of textbooks, I know, can be altered. Somehow, some kind of way. Due to the continuing rising of textbooks and the need, they are a high commodity, and this is why theft rate for stolen textbooks increases daily. Something has to change. But at the end of the day, all we can do as students is change or alter our actions. So go the cheaper route. Start renting your textbooks instead of paying full price for them. And your pocketbook will reap the benefits. Thank you.
8 minutes, 20 seconds.
Question and answering session.
That was very good, Raylan. What do you see in the future in terms of the economy moving upward again?
I see it, as of right now, in my opinion, I see it staying the same for a couple of years, and hopefully when the economy rises or gets back to stable, I guess, to this stability, then the prices of textbooks may decrease. I don't know. I hope so, though.
Other than renting books, what other ways can you reduce the cost of getting a higher education?
If anything, maybe that starts in high school. Maybe academically, maybe you can get an academic scholarship, and maybe you can get your school and everything paid for. That's about the only way that I can think of.
As far as the cost of tuition and the 2 points you mentioned, the rising cost of the textbooks, do you think that the textbooks that are required for you as students to learn really need to be as expensive as they are, or do you think that they could go a different route, maybe in printing them and how they produce them as far as reducing the cost?
Right, I agree with the articles or the websites that I read to you about them having ebooks. I think that'll save a lot of money, and I know a lot of people don't have, well, some people may not have computers, but I also think it should be another option, maybe getting the printed version of it from the library or something like that.
How much money have you saved? I'm assuming you've rented the books. Have you rented the books for the most part, or you bought books and you rented books? How much money do you save by purchasing versus renting?
I say if the book was $200 something, maybe you'll save $100 if you rented the book, opposed on buying it. So you save anywhere up to $50 to $100.
Do you see any disadvantages to renting as in purchasing the book?
No, I don't.
Well, in your research, did you learn a lot of helpful information about the books, and do you think they will push ebooks further in the book rental program?
I didn't really, learn too much information. I just learned a bunch of different viewpoints, and I think eventually, sooner or later, they'll start pushing ebooks more and more.
So do you see that as being more the trend in your experience, since you have been renting books more from the first time you became a student and you learned that it was a big cost savings? Do you see a bigger trend in electronic books being used in your courses?
Yes, I do, but again, at the same time, it takes more people like me, I guess, or open-minded like me to go and rent books for people to make a change. So it's all up to them, the Board of Education. I don't know.
Okay.